Hello and welcome to Misrepresented. I'm your host, Lisa Opie, and today I have one of my besties. I feel like we go way back, Miss Sabrina Ramos, who is Miss Vizcaya Swimwear 2021 and also an advocate for women in STEM. So welcome, Sabrina.
Hi, thank you so much for having
I'm
me.
so excited you're here. We're
know.
trying to not catch up too much because I'm like, we should catch up on the podcast, but we caught up a lot.
It's been, I think I've known you for what, 10 years already?
What year were you Miss Wait.
No, before I was Miss
Art Deco.
Art Deco. So I was 15 years old and now I'm 25. So yeah, 10
years. Wait, I feel so old. Stop. But I feel like
years.
you've always been a little sister to me.
I know.
Oh my god.
It's always like you've always been that role model image that it's always like fun to look up to and see what Lisa Opie is doing.
What?
Look up to
to what?
Look up to you and be like, what are you doing next? And it's so fun like being able to see your journey as a professional and as a career woman.
Thank you. Before we get into it, I want to shout out PinkApple Dresses for dressing us today. Sabrina picked out orange, and I think I like orange.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's such a fun color that you never pick out for yourself. So I was like, I want to wear orange today because I never get dressed in orange.
And I love the style, the shoulders, the cut. You look awesome.
So do you.
Thank you, PinkApple.
Thank you.
Okay, so where do you want to start? Should we talk about Miss Vizcaya Swimwear or STEM first?
Let's go in fun.
Fun first?
Let's take them, through the fun.
The whole journey.
Oh
my gosh. Yeah. Okay, so how did you start pageants and what brought you to competing?
Okay, so I started pageants when I was 15, which was Miss Art Deco.
So that was the first one?
That was my first pageant, the first one, and I won, and I was like, me? I was like, okay.
Oh my god.
And that just honestly opened the doors for more, and I've never looked back. It's been one of my that's one thing I will never regret, and I think I would regret if I never did a
pageant. 100%. And it opened so many doors.
It opened so many doors. It's made me who I am today, confident, well-spoken, and I'm always and it's also brought me closer to my community because I feel like growing up, kids aren't as involved in their community as they were, but being in pageantry did open that door, and it led me the right way.
And you really, I say that too. I'm like, I think pageants kept me off the streets and off drugs.
Yeah,
you just have to be a good person when you.
Yeah, it definitely teaches someone discipline and how to carry themselves. Yeah, and it's been a life-changing experience, and I hope every girl does a pageant at least once in their life. At least once. Get on the stage. And
everything will change.
New.
It just takes one pageant. One pageant. Your life.
Maybe I would have liked it, and I wouldn't have continued, but I ended up loving them. Oh and then when I did Miss Vizcaya Swimwear, I think it was 3 years ago.
You're 2021.
2021. So I was Miss Vizcaya 2021, and that was a whole rebranding.
Wait, so how did you decide to compete? When were you like, okay, I'm gonna do this?
So I had been following Miss Vizcaya, I think since Miss Vizcaya's first started, and I would always look at the girls and I'd be like, how are they in a bikini? How are they just posing? They look so empowering and confident, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I came back from another pageant, Miss Collegiate America, and it was completely opposite than Miss Vizcaya.
Oh my gosh.
But I knew where Sabrina was headed and where Sabrina wanted to be. So that was with the whole Miss USA, and I was like, okay, I need to learn how to be more confident, not confident in myself, but more confident in front of a camera, being in a bathing suit, posing.
Yeah.
So, and then I just signed up for Miss Vizcaya. I think I texted you or someone. Probably. And I was like, are Vizcaya registrations still open? Because I think I did it in 2 weeks.
I feel like all the last minute girls win. Angel literally a week before was like, I'm gonna do it, and she won. And you were super last minute.
I was super last minute. I think it was 2 weeks, and literally. I texted you. I'm like, are they still open? And you were like, yeah, I think so. I need to ask France. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then you were like, yeah, just here's the link, register. And I registered. And as soon as I got there, Vizcaya is a whole different
it's not a pageant. It's not a pageant. It's just a Miami hot girl experience where you just have a lot of fun,
and you get to take amazing pictures and
get published.
I'll never and you get published.
Walk and it's swim week.
And it's such amazing opportunities, but I'll never forget. So fast forward, I'm at Miss Vizcaya Swimwear. We're there, we're at orientation, and I'm there, and I'm like, oh, wait, this isn't a pageant. This is a spokesperson competition. You need to be outgoing, which I do see all the qualities that a Miss Vizcaya has in myself. So I think, you won. No, I'm just kidding. But it was, I'll never forget. Somebody comes up to me. the day of the show, and they're like, I think it was Katie, and she
Okay.
goes to me, she's like, your pictures were insane. And I'm like, are you talking to the right girl? I was like, no. And I think she got a snippet. I don't remember who showed me the picture. And I just remember looking at it and being like, that's not me.
Oh my god.
And it was just like a whole like, wow, I can
Yeah.
actually do this. And then I end up winning.
Was
And
it like your first time posing?
it was my first time posing in a swimsuit.
Oh my
And
gosh.
like,
And it was like Sports
and
Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated,
Yeah.
like, and I was just like, oh my god, who is this? I was like,
Yeah.
I did it, and that just awakened a whole new beast inside of me, and like it just
I love
rebranded
it.
me, and it was amazing. And I always say I'm so honored and like blessed that I was able to work with you and Franz the whole year, and we got to go to Tulum.
Oh, Tulum
I mean,
was so fun.
I always say I love not saying that I had a billboard in Times Square until people go on my Instagram
Oh my
and are
gosh.
stalking, and then they're like, you had a billboard in Times Square.
Yeah.
How are you not like? How is it not the first thing you introduce yourself to someone?
It
Like,
was like, hi, I'm Sabrina, billboard on Times Square.
like what? And it's really cool. I
Oh my
remember
gosh.
I was in engineering school. I didn't tell anyone I was going to New York.
Really?
Yeah, like I told
Are
my
you like
friends.
me, where like I don't post anything until it happens, and I
Exactly.
don't tell anyone until it
I
happens.
did not tell anyone. I remember posting a story and being like, oh, I'm off to do something exciting with Vizcaya Swimwear.
Yeah.
I knew I was getting a billboard, but I didn't know where on Times Square, what picture.
You didn't know if it was gonna be like
I
a
didn't
tiny
know.
one, like
I
off
didn't know
Broadway.
anything was happening. So we get there, and Franz is like, okay, come over here. He's like, just stand here. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're just taking pictures.
Yeah.
And then he goes, turn around. And
Oh
I was just like,
it was like a big one, right?
yeah, it was
Like,
huge. It was huge. It was right by the stairs. And
The
I
red
just remember
chairs.
looking, and I was like, oh my God. And honestly, just being with Sky Swimmer. So
yeah,
it was chef's kiss.
What about designing your own swimsuit? What was that like?
That was fun.
What was the inspiration?
I remember we were in Tulum, and
Yeah.
we saw a girl's bathing suit, and I was like, I want something like this.
Yeah.
I want something very simple that can be worn with like a
skirt,
skirt,
yeah.
jeans, or you can wear it out as a swimwear, or you can put a cover up and you're fine.
Yeah.
So that's why we went with something very like simple.
It could be a bodysuit.
It could be a bodysuit. It could be a swimsuit. It could be even a pageant swimsuit.
Yes.
So that's
And
what
it's
I
so
wanted.
Flattering. I love the cut.
So that's really what I wanted. I wanted something very diverse that
Mhm.
every girl could wear and feel beautiful. And that's why we went with black and white too.
I love it.
Because it was just
neutral
colors. And that's what I was like, this is perfect. I wear mine as a bodysuit all the time.
I love it. What was it like modeling your design on the runway at Miami Swim Week?
It was pretty cool. Like I was like, oh, I designed this. And it's not, and what I love about it, it's like, it's not intricate. You would have expected something more like, wow, like intricate or like more
Mhm.
complex or a pop of
Especially
color.
from a pageant girl.
Especially from a pageant girl and my personality. But I was like,
Mhm.
I just want something very simple that I will never get tired of wearing.
And it fits your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're all over the place. You're
Yeah.
doing like one thing after another. They're pretty spontaneous, but organized at the
Yeah.
same time. So I love that it's like, if you pack that Sabrina, you're good.
Yeah,
You
it's
just need
like
pants,
you just
maybe.
need it. You just need that bodysuit, and you could dress it up, you could dress it down, you could do whatever you want with it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have this one memory backstage, I think at Miss Art Deco, and you were giving up your crown.
Oh yeah.
And you have this like gigantic Ted Baker London bag. And you're like, look, I fit in it. And I saw you like get inside this Ted Baker bag. And like your head was sticking out, and that was it.
That does sound like something I would do.
I will never forget. Every time I walk by Ted Baker, I'm like, I want that bag because
I
it fits everything.
I want that bag and I want that memory.
Oh my gosh.
Simple times. And I was here thinking like, my life is so hard at that time
Oh
when
my
you're
gosh.
15. Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, so engineering school, I feel like we should talk about challenges. Being
Yeah.
like a woman in engineering and STEM, like what's that like?
I mean, I always normally got along with like the boys. Like I was always
Yeah.
like I would hang out with the boys
But not a
all
pick
the
me.
time. Huh?
But not a pick me.
No. I'm like, I would always just gravitate towards boys, and I always like, so when I was in engineering school, it really wasn't something like I saw it very difficult, but I do know that it is.
Yeah.
I actually had a professor once tell me I was in the wrong class.
No way.
Yeah. It was like the first day of the semester. I think it was my third semester in college, and it was like my first engineering class. And the professor looked at me and he was like, no, I think you're in the wrong class. And I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, is this class? I don't remember the code. That's why I can't say it. But
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is this class. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm in this class. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, and I just went and sat down.
Oh
But I
my
really was the only
gosh.
girl in that class. So
The only
the
girl in that
only girl.
class.
So I was like, might as well just tape down my boobs, cut my hair, and put a baseball cap, and I'll mix in
Draw
perfectly.
like a beard on.
But I can say that you do find some people that do undermine you, and then you find other colleagues and peers that think that it's awesome. I mean, they're all of my colleagues and peers have always been so like invested and interested. Like my friend was on a billboard in Times Square.
Right.
Like
And she's smart.
and she's smart and she's cool. So I always value those friendships and
Yeah.
those colleagues that I've had throughout my years of engineering school. But it definitely was hard.
It has to be.
I looked
feel
like a mess half the time. I looked like a mess. I looked like I got ran over by like 5 trucks all
No
the
way. I've seen
time.
you without makeup on. I feel like that's impossible.
Yeah, but like not with the raccoon. Like
oh my
with the raccoon,
gosh.
what is it? I'm here thinking about it in Spanish. Tus ojeras. Eye bags. My
Oh
eye
my
bags were like up
gosh.
to here my last semester. I looked horrible.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I mean, it was all worth it.
Yeah, and I
It
feel
was-
like just being here today and like talking about it, people are gonna know that like it's okay to be an engineer and be a girl and be
Yeah.
beautiful and also do modeling. You know, like we can do it all.
Yeah, we
so.
can. And your both worlds really do collide because I feel like pageantry and modeling teach you to be very disciplined and confident in who you are.
Mhm.
So I think if I wouldn't have had that experience of being in pageants and being confident in who I was and walking into a room and being, when we walk into an interview room as a pageant girl, you're being judged
Yep.
by individuals that don't even know you.
Yeah.
So
And I feel like the same
the
does apply
same
to
thing
engineering.
when you walk into a meeting with that it's mainly predominantly males, or you walk into a class, right, and it's predominantly males, or you're just getting judged. So it's like, no, I'm here and I'm here to work, and
Yeah.
like mind your own business, I'm here, bye.
Was there a lot of like misogyny like among the engineering community? Like
I will say I'm surprised that in Miami I didn't experience that. I've experienced that more outside of Miami.
okay.
And Miami's normally like you think of Hispanics like as misogynists, and no, all of my counterparts, like all of my male counterparts, they're so supporting.
Wow.
Like they
I love to
support,
hear
yeah,
that.
they really support me. And even like I've never had to experience it firsthand, but I have heard like horror stories.
Oh
But
my god.
even at my job, my professional career, when I competed at Miss Michigan this year, all of the guys were like, what do you have to do? What is this? Do they ask you questions? What do they ask you? They had never heard of someone that did pageants. So they were so intrigued. And like the week before Miss Michigan, I obviously took off a couple of days that I worked from home. And the week before, like that week, they were like, good luck, like bring home a crown. Like, and when I came back, they were like, oh my God, you got third runner up. Like, this is amazing.
I love
And
that. I love that they're so supportive.
It was really nice to have that support, because sometimes you are scared of like saying, oh, I'm in a pageant, I'm in a beauty pageant, because of the way that they might look at you.
Yeah.
But I've never been scared of saying I compete in pageants. I wear it right on my forehead. Like you look at me and they're like, tell me about you. I'm like, well, so I've competed in pageants. I've competed in pageants. I compete in pageants. I always tell myself, I'm like, I don't know what my life is going to be without a pageant.
Yeah.
But I am ready, almost like we were talking about earlier, to close that chapter. So
no.
Yeah.
No, you're still so young.
I know, but we'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Okay, so why engineering?
If you talk to anyone in my family, since I was a little girl, I would always like destroy everything. Like take apart all my toys and like put them back together, because I wanted to take it apart to see how it worked and see.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I was always up to something. I was always doing something. And my parents, I would put it back the toy and have like extra pieces, and I would be like, oh, it works fine, we didn't need these. I'm like, these are just extra.
You're like a little problem solver.
Yeah. And my parents were always like amazed by how my brain worked since I was little, and I always excelled in math and science. And then obviously growing up, everyone wants to be a doctor.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna be a doctor. And then once I got a little bit older, once I was like a senior, junior in high school, I was like, gonna be a doctor. I don't have that much time to go to school. And engineering just really stuck out to me. And
Wow.
obviously growing up in Miami, the skyline,
Uh-huh.
watching like the skyline develop and grow and see, like, I know people were designing and engineering
Wow.
this and seeing their projects come to life. So I always knew I wanted to see my like projects come to life
Oh
somehow.
my gosh,
So
that's so cool.
since I was little, I always knew it was going to be something math, science, engineering. But
Wow.
yeah.
That's so cool. I'm the opposite. I can't do math.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like more
can't
on the
read.
artsy
I can't
side.
read when
I'm a reader and a painter.
I can't read. Well, you paint beautiful faces, so
Thank you.
but I cannot read. When people ask me, they're like, "Do you even speak English sometimes?" I'm like, "No, I know 3 languages and I don't even know how to speak one of
Wait,
them."
3?
Yeah, English,
English,
Spanish, and
Spanish.
Portuguese.
Oh my gosh. Where does
Yeah.
the Portuguese come
My
from?
father. So my dad's Venezuelan Portuguese.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I knew
Yeah.
that, but I totally forgot because I'm
Yeah.
like Venezuelan. Okay.
So
Okay, so
multicultural, multi-diverse.
I love it. Back to pageants, like being Venezuelan, do you feel like you feel a lot of pressure? Because you know how Venezuela is like
It's
the country in pageants, right?
so yes and no. People always tell me, they're like, "Oh, you're Venezuelan, so you're good at it."
I mean, you
I'm like,
are. Yeah, you win a lot.
thanks. Um, yes and no. I've never really like taken out like that card and been like, "Oh, I'm Venezuelan." It's just something I am and who I am
Mhm.
as a person. It's just my heritage, my culture.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever. Once you know me and once you ask me where I'm from, I say it, but not that I'm like, "Oh, I'm Venezuelan, so here."
Yeah.
Yeah, like no. Um, I guess everyone in my family in Venezuela, they're like, of course she does
Yeah.
pageants. That we breed them for this.
Did that have any influence on you doing
No, at
pageants?
all. So, the way it started, one of my dad's coworkers, his daughter did pageants. So my dad was the one that put me in my first pageant.
Okay.
But I
And he's the
remember
Venezuelan one,
he's
so
the
maybe there was a
Venezuelan
little
one.
influence
So
for
maybe
him.
there was a little. But there, one of my cousins from Venezuela, she sends like a gift bag, but it's literally her face on the gift bag.
Okay.
And it says like Miss Teen Tachira
Oh my gosh.
2013. And I'm like, I look at my dad and my grandma, I'm like, I want to be like her. I want to do this. And then I guess obviously 2 years went by. I was 13 at the time, around there. No, not 2013. Was it around sometime
Okay.
around there? And I go to and then my dad finds out about Miss Art Deco and this, and he just signs me up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I ended up winning, and that was, and then we're here. And now we're here.
Wow.
And now we're here.
And you're like pretty good at Miss Florida too, because you did Miss Carnival, which is like really hard to win.
Yeah.
Miss Carnival Miami's like more competitive than Florida sometimes, I feel like.
It
The
is
quality is there.
Yeah, I will say the first year I did so it took me 3 times.
Okay.
3 times the charm.
Okay.
It took me 3 times to do Miss Carnival, but the first year I did it, I was 16 years old.
Oh my god.
And I was competing against women. I say women. I'm not going
Yeah.
to say girls, because they were like 26, 27 years old.
And it's like their 9th time doing it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I was like sitting there, I was like, oh, this is fun. This is a great time. And I was able to work with the Kiwanis. I started working with the Kiwanis since then. And then from there we moved on next year. I think I placed that year. I placed 4th runner up. But the cool thing about Miss Carnival is that it's the queen and her court that get to hang out.
Okay.
So I was part of the court, and I was like, I love this. I love this. I'm doing this again.
Oh my god.
So then the 3rd year I go, I win that year, but I'm there standing like with looking at like a woman, and she's like, I think Sophia was 21, 22, which Sophia is now my best friend.
Is she the one that's Miss Grand Cuba?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So-
okay, so she
so-
moved on to
Yeah, she went and she competed internationally recently. So yeah, and then we're standing there, and I'm like, great, I'm first runner up. This is awesome. I get to do this all over again next year. Because I'm here, little do I know, I don't think I'm gonna I'm here
Yeah.
standing next to like a woman,
Yeah.
and I'm here like 19 little old me. Like I just got into college like
Oh
a
my
year ago. Like
gosh.
I don't know nothing about life, and no, I win, and that was awesome.
Yeah,
then
and that took you to Miss Florida USA.
that took me to Miss
and
Florida
you got top
USA,
15.
top 15 that year. I remember
Wow.
texting you. I was like, "How did I do?"
Like, so good.
You were like, "Great slay," and I was like,
literally,
"Thanks."
you could have won that year.
No,
But
I
it's
wasn't
just a
ready.
toss up. Like honestly, Florida, how many girls compete? Like
I think my
80?
year 80 something, and I
Yeah.
was the youngest one in the top 15. I think
Oh
that year
my
I was 20 years old
gosh.
competing, and I would just look at myself. I was there to have a good time,
yeah.
and when I remember getting called to top 15, I was like, "Okay, this is awesome." And then I went back the year after, and then after that I took like a break
Mhm.
from pageantry, not from pageantry. Oh yeah, from pageantry. because I think after that, yeah, I took a break.
Was
I took
your
a little
second time at Florida the COVID year? Or like right before
yes,
COVID?
right before COVID.
That
So obviously I took a break.
yeah.
Obviously.
And then it was Miss Vizcaya.
And then I did Miss Florida Collegiate. That took me to Miss
Oh,
Collegiate
okay.
America, which was like a complete different like pageant for me because there's no swimwear. You know, it's more a conservative pageant.
Okay.
It's a collegiate pageant.
So like more like Miss
So
America.
like more like Miss America.
Okay.
And then after that I was like, wait, no, I want to do Miss USA again. I need to rebrand myself. I need to redevelop, rebrands, like bring a whole new Sabrina to
I mean,
the
especially
game.
since Miss Vizcaya just like brought out like
It
the
did.
USA Sabrina.
It really did. Like shooting with you guys, the hair, the makeup, just the experiences I had as Miss Vizcaya were. I didn't go to Miss Vizcaya thinking I was gonna win. I was like, I'm here for a good time. I'm only doing this for a good time.
I feel like the secret of winning is to like not try to win,
and
then you win.
Yeah, I've always, when girls have come back to me and asked me about like how was your experience, like what did you do? I'm like, have fun.
That's it.
That's it. And I know it's such a cliche answer because you're like, okay, I know I'm gonna have fun, but what did you do? It's like,
just had fun.
Just had fun.
I know you had fun because I was like hanging out and you were like the most fun one, and everyone else was like so stressed. You know, they're like, I have to be perfect, I have to be on my best behavior.
And
I
was
that's
there,
not what
like,
this is about.
I was there just. I'm just me. I'm just me. I'm a mess. No, I'm just kidding. I'm an organized chaos. I always say I'm an organized like mess fun time.
I don't know how to like describe it, but I know.
Yeah,
I know you, so I know it's like you're a mess, but you're also very organized.
I'm very
What's
organized.
Your sign?
I'm a Leo.
Like,
yeah,
that doesn't explain it.
No, it doesn't. But then like if you look at my astrology like charts and everything, you'll be like, oh, I see why she's not like Leo. I have Cancer. Like my emotions are Cancer. That's why I'm super emotional. And like very just giving. So I see the Leo.
Those are like opposite signs. Like Cancer is the opposite of a Leo.
Yeah. So I balance it out very well. And I'm glad. I'm glad. I've always like, I literally have told like my boyfriends, I'm like, yeah, look, I know you don't care about astrology, but be grateful these are my signs because if not, I'd be a psycho.
Oh my god.
I have like Scorpio. I come off as a Scorpio, so because I'm intense and like and like very in your face. I get it. I'm sorry for everyone that I've been in your face. Chaotic.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. I'm great. I'm a great time. If you know, you know. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so I think our producer was dying to know what's next for you.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're moving back here. I'm excited.
I'm moving back to Florida. So I moved to Michigan for a year. My career really, you know, I had to do that. I had to sacrifice living here for a year to move.
How was that? Like Michigan's the opposite of Florida.
Yeah, but it was a nice like little lifestyle change of pace. It's very calm over there.
Were you born and raised here?
Yeah. Okay. I had never moved. And
so it's like snow, ice, like it's very different.
It was really different. I mean, this year it hasn't been that cold, but just really like living somewhere else gives you a lot of perspective. Because back then I really wanted to, like, I was like, I don't like Miami. I don't use hate because it's a strong word, but that's what we were taught. But I was like, I don't like Miami. Like, I don't think I can live here for the rest of my life. And really moving somewhere that it's out of your culture and out of just everything you know, it really puts a lot of things in perspective. And also like I was always with my family, so being away from them really like made our bond stronger. Oh, that's good. So, and then I'm just ready to come back to Miami and be with my people. And
even with the driving,
even though the driving, it's fine. I work from home. I'll be fine.
Oh, you don't have to go anywhere.
But the driving, oh my god, today it took me an hour and like 20 minutes to get here.
Yeah.
Well, there was like an accident. Did you guys?
There were like multiple accidents.
Yeah. I was like, what is this?
Everything was closed down. It was just like nothing was moving, and people just don't know how to drive. Like it's so scary. Like 95 is like terrifying.
But besides moving back to Miami, well, I am competing at Miss Eco USA now in like 2 weeks.
Where 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah. It's January 8th, something like that.
Wait, like every pageant is like literally in January. What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's a good time. I mean, it's not a good time because that means I can't eat for the holidays.
Literally, like, your body.
Like I'm supposed to be having like a lot of food on Sunday with my family and New Year's, and I'm there like I'm gonna be like, just kidding.
Protein.
I eat.
You do eat.
I eat. But besides what were we saying? I got off a little. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
pageants,
pageant,
Miss
Eco
Miss
USA.
Eco USA, and then if I win that, then I get to go to Egypt and compete at Miss Eco International.
When's
so
that?
that's in April.
Okay.
So
You have
and
time to
then
prepare.
time to prepare. I know it'll be my first international pageant, which that's something I've always been on my bucket list.
Oh my gosh.
So and then after that, I'll decide if I'm ready to hang up my high heels or what I want to do next.
Yeah.
I do want to go back to the USA system, at least try one more time. And if not, then once we get there, once we cross that bridge, career wise, so this is like, you're gonna be like, whoa, because I didn't even say it. I was saving it. I was saving it. I am considering going to law school. Yeah, to do patents. So I want to become a patent attorney.
Really?
Again, going back to the same thing of, I love seeing how things work, and I love problem solving, and I love investigating, and just that's been on like my back burner for like 6 months, and now I'm like kind of saying it out loud and talking to people about it. And I was like, but the hardest part is the reading. Like, how am I gonna do the reading? They're like, it's very logical reading.
It's very logical. I feel like it's like math.
Yeah, so that's what everyone has told me. They're like, you're an engineer, you have a logical mindset. So for you, it might, So I am planning on like taking the LSATs, and depending on how it goes with my LSATs, like if I like studying for an LSATs, then maybe I will.
I think LSATs are very logical, because I was actually pre-law, so I had to study for the LSATs, and there is like a logic portion of it. Yeah, and logic is literally like math. Like it really is. So if you read the words and then make it like a math problem, and then solve it, you can do it. I'm not a math person, so I was like, I'm not cut out for this. So I do makeup.
So everyone's like, yeah, just see it as an equation. And I had the opportunity to talk to someone that was an engineer. He practiced engineering, and then he went to law school, and now he's a lawyer. He does like real estate and zoning. And he was like, it's literally, you just look at it as a math problem. It's like y equals mx plus b, like a plus b equals c. And I was like, okay, so I've been looking into that. So if that does happen, then that'll be like in 2025. So
wow, no, I'm like really excited for you.
So
I feel like you're gonna do it. Like you're pretty unstoppable, and I feel like anything that you put your mind to, like you always get it done, and you do it very well.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's been like, I've been like back and forth with it. Like, should I do it? Should I not do it? So we'll see.
How would you juggle like your career and law school?
So I know in Florida, the first year, I believe you can't work. I think I read that somewhere. Someone told me that as a 1L, you can't like have a job.
Wow.
My career, if I am able to continue being an engineer, like for like during the day and then go to law school at night, then I mean, it's like juggling pageants and going to school and having a job. I did it. We could do this. And if not, then my parents are really supportive. I've already talked to them. I'm like, so if I can't work, like, will you guys maintain me?
I would invest in you too, because I would be like, I need like a lawyer like on call. So that could be you.
I literally told my parents, I'm like, I'm thinking of doing this. And my mom was like, do it. She's like, do it. She was like, what are you like? By the time you're 30, you'll be a lawyer and this and that. And my dad's like, are you sure? Because he's like, are you sure? Like he makes me think about things. He makes me think about a lot of things. Like he's always like, my dad's very analytical too. So he's like, okay. And then my grandma's there like, whatever you need. Like, whatever you need. You need, okay. I'm like, will you maintain me? She's like, of course.
Oh, I love that.
So we'll see where that goes. But that's like one of the biggest, like, that's why when France is like, so what's next? I was like,
and I was like, we have to save it for the podcast.
Tell you. But that's the big ones. And then, career.
I mean, I'm so about you going to law school right now. I'm like, okay, you can do pageants, you can do engineering. Like, this is what? Like, it's hard?
It's hard? Like, that's literally my Elle Smith moment.
Literally.
Is it Elle Smith? Is it Elle Smith? No, Elle Smith was Miss USA. You see that? It's literally on my forehead. It's what I think about.
Oh my gosh.
Some people love football. I love pageants. That's our Super Bowl. That's our sport. So, but Elle Woods.
Yeah. So I feel like you should do law school and then go back to pageants, and then like nobody could stand a chance. Nobody. It's like, I've been on a billboard. I'm an engineer and I'm also a lawyer, and I'm trilingual.
I think if I do go to law school, the heels are going up.
Oh my god.
I mean, now with the age limit being raised, who knows? Like, no, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
I can't. I don't know.
We can compete together.
I don't know. That's why everyone's like, what are you gonna do next? I'm like, I love pageantry, but I've had such a good run, and that's
You
what
have.
I came in here and like back then. Maybe if you would have talked to me, maybe like a year ago, I would have been like, no, I can't stop doing pageants. Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Identity crisis, life crisis.
Oh my gosh.
But like this, I don't know. The other day, I was like, you know what? I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I've had a very like good
It's
run,
so good.
and I'm also wanting to kind of step into like the back scenes of it.
You know, I have an idea, and I think like we would all support you on this. Is like maybe there's like a way to like legally regulate pageants a little bit because it's like the Wild West, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are getting away with a lot of stuff. So it's like
that is true.
maybe there's like something you can do as a lawyer.
As a future lawyer, that can be
some order in pageants.
Like order in the pageants. order on the stage, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, that is a good idea, and that there is.
But is there a way though? Like,
I don't know. I mean, like, I have no idea. I know nothing about the law. All I know is that
if you could make up a rule for a pageant, like what would you make up? Something legal.
Something legal that we all have to see our scores.
Yeah.
I think transparency is like the biggest thing. And I think, I would love to see a lot. Even as a contestant, like it's not even saying like the pageant is rigged or like there's, as a contestant, I want to know where I scored and what percentile and you know and what I could do better like, to improve and your feedback. So I think that's something that pageants should definitely like be adding. Just you know, give the contestants their feedback, because I think so another reason that I'm kind of just like I'm happy what I've done and where I've gone in pageantry. It's just I don't have time to waste anymore. So I don't want to waste my time nor my energy nor my money on a pageant to be in a pageant that might be rigged. Like I am not a sore loser at all. I congratulate everyone, but I do want to see a fair pageant.
On that note, like what about like certifying judges or something? Should there be a better screening process?
Yeah, I don't think we should just have I think the craziest thing that I've seen at a pageant was like the hotel manager or something.
Because they're a sponsor.
They're a sponsor. I do understand that they're a sponsor, but at the same time, like they have no knowledge of a pageant. They could literally
be like, "Oh, I like that dress color 10." You know, like they don't know. So there's no
like. I feel if we want to make pageantry again to what it was back then, I think we need to just like get better judges. You know, certify them. Like it's a sport. It's a job.
It is.
Girls put so much effort and so much time and so much money that it's like having another full-time job. And
to just have that thrown out the door because they don't like the color
because
of your
they don't
dress,
like the color or because of or something. And it's just certifying judges, making sure that the contestants get their feedbacks, just contracts being more viable, because I think that's a very big.
I feel like this needs to be like a whole
nother podcast. Call me while I'm in law school. We'll talk.
Right,
we'll figure this out.
We'll figure this out. We can be like, here's our opinion. Can you do something?
But I think that's definitely like seeing your scores is really, really important.
I think so too.
Because I've been in pageants that I'm like, what? What did he say to me? I was not. I know. I'm like, I didn't deserve to win. I wasn't the best one. I know that. But where they like put me into the mix of things, I was like, oh no. I was like, I know I don't interview or perform at that level. And I was just like
Miss Vizcaya, like they don't show scores, but it's because there are like very low, like I've seen 2s and 1s. And it's like, you know, if that girl like asked for a score, I wouldn't be comfortable sharing that with her, because it's just like she's fine.
That is a good,
you know, but then it's like, okay, maybe we just need to find judges that don't do that.
Yeah.
But what if she did deserve the 2? You know, like there's people that really have no clue what they're doing. So it's like really tough.
I think the only time like anyone should be given anything under like a 5, because I am a hard judge. When I've judged pageants, I look like the nicest judge on the panel, but I'm like analyzing.
Like as a judge, like would you want people to like see your score?
Yeah, I would, but it's that I won't score anyone under a 5 or a 6 just because I know what it takes to really put yourself out there.
Yeah,
unless
you get a 5 for just showing
unless
up.
You go into the interview room and you're just not talk like it has to be like and I'll write that out. I'll probably even give them like a 5 or a 6, but put there was no dialogue. Like
There's
there's
interviews
nothing.
where you're like pulling.
There was
like,
nothing.
answers
And
from
I've
them,
been a
like,
judge. No, I would never score a girl a
Yeah.
2 or a 1 because I do know what it is like to be on the other side and how nerve-wracking, and you're already putting yourself out there, and
Yeah.
walking on a stage in a bathing suit is not as easy as a lot of people perceive. It takes a
And we
lot to
perceive
get there.
it to be hard.
Yeah, it takes a lot
It takes a lot.
to be there and to do that, and just to show yourself to people that have no idea who you are and that are
Yeah.
just judging you based off of a look. So that's why I'm like, I would not agree with 5. Like nothing under
Yeah.
a 5 for me. Absolutely not. I like to think I'm a very fair judge.
Yeah.
And I always write down comments. Like whoever has had me judge at a pageant, they literally get an essay back.
Wait, I love that. You know what it should be is like maybe to judge a pageant you have to have competed in one. That's
Yeah.
it. That's your certification. If you've been on
Yeah.
a stage before,
Or
you know what it's like, you know
Yeah.
what to look for, and that's it.
or you work in the industry, or you have a lot of like years in the
Yeah.
industry, or you've worked, like, okay, I get like if you're a male but you worked in communication, you worked in something that that your job is literally to talk, okay, then you're a
Yeah.
good interview. Like
Yeah.
you have that credibility to be an interview coach because you know how to speak and communicate.
Exactly.
But yeah, like a lot, like the hotel manager was just a crazy one for me. I'll never forget that. I was like, what? You're a what?
Oh my god.
You're a who?
He must have paid. Well, he gave the hotel, so
He gave the hotel. And I understand, but sponsor, and then the question arises on like sponsorships.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but they're a sponsor, they're a paying sponsor. I understand they're a paying sponsor, but we can find other ways. As a director, you should be able to find other ways that sponsor is not just automatically like you're a judge.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I've seen it happen a lot that it's a sponsor, and they're on the judging panel, and I'm like, oh well, okay.
And then you automatically feel like you have to use the sponsor, so it gets a little weird.
It gets a little weird. Everything is like, it's like, okay, it's good, and then it's like, oh no. And then so
I've been on like all sides, so I see like all sides of the
Yeah.
equation, but it's like as a sponsor, I hate judging. That's something that I literally do not like to do because
Yeah.
I love everyone. I support all the girls. I think they're all amazing, so I hate judging because I'm
Yeah.
like 10s across the board for everyone.
yeah, I definitely will say I don't. When I've asked to be a judge, I'm like, okay, fine, but I want to be backstage.
Yeah.
I want to do something else. Like
yeah.
That's
I
why
want to be in the chaos. Like,
yeah, I want to be
throw
in the
me
chaos.
there.
Like I want to like be like zipping girls' dresses in the
Yeah.
back, or just like supporting the girl. Like, what do you
Yeah,
need? You're having a mental breakdown.
exactly.
Okay, let's figure this out. You're
Yeah.
gonna be fine. Like you're already here.
Yeah.
All your hard work has brought you here. This is just have fun.
Exactly.
I literally just want to be a hype girl backstage and like, let's do this. Like,
Oh my god.
so in a couple of years, that's, if you see my craziness, my crazy self running around in the back of a pageant, I'm just a hype girl.
We'll come to Miss Vizcaya next year.
always. I always go to, like, I don't think I've missed, no.
No, you're always
I was like,
there.
even I was living in Michigan and I came twice.
You're like the life of the party, though.
I was like, I came twice. I was like, I flew down. I was like, Miss Vizcaya, okay, I'll be there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you guys have a special place in my heart, and I always say that. I'm like, they rebranded me.
Like, I loved it though. It was such a glow up, and it was just like every post, on Instagram was like another.
It got
level
better
up.
and it got better, and like I remember who was it? It was you. We were doing my makeup for that first initial shoot, and you were like, okay, this isn't pageant patty, okay? Get that away, okay? You are Miss Vizcaya Swimwear, so figure it out. You have about like 30 minutes. I was like,
oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
it's okay. I was like, yes, ma'am. I was like, yes, I will get my life together, okay?
But it was like a lot of like influencing 101 though.
Yes.
Like the Tulum trip, like sitting in first class, I'm like, okay, here's the light,
Yeah,
sit like this. Like it was a photo
I don't
shoot.
go anywhere without a ring light anymore.
Good.
Because this is my new motto. There is no such thing as a bad picture, just bad lighting.
Yes.
Like that's
Love
it. Like I have taken pictures without that ring light, and I'm like, my face looks just like
even
my
today,
face.
you were like, I have my ring light.
I was like,
She
and
brought
you're
it
like,
here.
I was like, it's here. Like your face just looks like
It's really
weird.
all about lighting.
It is all about lighting. I'm like, I don't look like that. I know I don't look like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Miss Vizcaya Swimwear is also influencing 101, becoming an influencer.
I
and
love it.
it
Because
was
it's been
just-
open doors for you too.
It really has, and it was just the whole year was like, okay. And also like living in Miami and you guys being here as well.
that
And you
was
guys would just
awesome.
throw me into stuff. You're like, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, nothing. You're like, oh, you want to come to this? I'm like, yeah.
The party with the limo.
The party with the limo. Who did I even meet that night? You
My
made me get on. No, not. Oh yeah, your sister. But what famous person were you? Like you shoved me to take a picture with him. I was like, who?
Oh my gosh, it's not Travis Scott, but like
no, it was.
There was Chantel Jeffries, and then there was
and I took a
what's
picture
his
with her.
name?
I took a picture with her. You were like, go,
what's
go.
his name? Oh my gosh, I have to. He's a rapper.
He's a rapper.
How do we not know his name?
I don't remember, but you were like, get on stage right now. And I was like, okay. And then I kidnapped your sister.
He's really, I'm like Googling it now.
I kidnapped Lisa's sister and we went partying. We were next door. It's not like we ran away.
What's his name?
We literally went to the place next door. Through a back alley. No, I'm just kidding. Not through. No. It was like literally like, I think it was like boarded. It was like fenced. And the fence was open. No, it's that we went to use the bathroom.
And then there was like a curtain, and you guys just never came back.
And we never came back for a second. And then Lisa found us. She was like, where were you guys? We're like, here.
Whatever. I'm like kids.
I think because me and your sister were the same age, right?
I think so.
So yeah, we were like, organized chaos. I told you, I knew where we were.
Yeah.
I knew what we were doing. It was just, we went to the bathroom. We got distracted. There was better music on the other side.
Yeah.
I think our side was way too packed.
I could not find his name.
Oh, it's okay. I remember you just shoving me up on stage. You're like, take a picture. I was like, okay. And then one of my favorite pictures is that one in the limo that I was like, fabulous.
That limo picture was iconic.
Yeah.
And that was like iconic. A good limo.
Yeah.
I love Sprinter limos because you can like stand up.
Yeah, it was great. And what else did it? Oh, there's been so many memorable memories with you.
My favorite has to be Tulum, though.
Tulum.
It was just like, it was so eventful.
Yeah.
Like, just so fun.
And then what was it? I feel like when we got to Tulum, we were like all chilling and vibing. And then it just escalated really quickly.
Yeah, because like, I mean, everybody doesn't want to like work, you know? So
yeah.
It's like, okay, we'll do one day where we all just work. We do the photo shoots, work.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, and then we're like, okay, we're just gonna like
that was honestly so memorable. So do Miss Vizcaya Swimwear so you can do this. So you can have all these experiences. That's where I get at.
You're such a good spokesmodel.
Thanks.
Still doing it.
Always. I always tell everyone, I'm like, Miss Vizcaya's in July.
Oh my god.
What are you guys doing?
I can't wait. It's my favorite time of year.
It is.
Yeah.
Even
is. Like not competing, just being on the sidelines. It's so
fun. I had so much fun, and I just like seeing all the girls and they're all like, oh my god, that's Sabrina. And I'm like,
I love it.
I'm like, and I'm like,
oh my god,
it's fun because all the girls are like, she's the best one. I'm like, I can hear you, I can see you, like, but I'm like, and I always tell them, I'm like, don't be scared to talk to me, like, I'm not competing, I have no say in this, like, you guys can reach out to me, and some of them will be like, okay.
What's like your best advice for someone that wants to do Vizcaya, or like what's like something that you're telling a lot of girls when they ask for advice?
Have fun and be yourself.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Vizcaya is just, they can see when you're having fun, and you can see it on the runway, and you just the personality. It's that has every to be girl there. That has won Vizcaya. Okay, so Haley, there was just this energy about her.
Yep.
Like that day, like there was just this energy about her, and Angel as well. Like they were just having fun. They weren't stressed. They were like, well, I'm here, I'm gonna have fun. And I think I had that same energy that I was, and Dominique. Well, I wasn't there the years, but it was just that same, like, just have fun and just let go, and like, that's no pressure. No pressure. Like, don't feel the pressure. And I always tell that. And like, they're like, but are you sure? Like, what do I, oh, sorry. I'm like, but what do I, like, interview? How's the interview? I'm like, I cried after my interview from this guy. I got in the car. I called Demi, one of my best friends, and I'm like, Demi, this was horrible. Like, this was the worst interview I've ever done in my life. Like,
really?
It's what I tell them also, besides having fun, it's not a pageant interview. You're going in as a spokesmodel. So they just want to know that you can talk, that you're outgoing, that you're fun, that you're like, if you can, like, if you're naturally funny, and if you're naturally funny, throw in a joke, because it's like, oh, we want to hang out with her. Miss Vizcaya is like a girl that you want to hang out with.
Yeah. Like,
you want to talk to her.
Yeah.
So I got in the car. I'm used to pageant interviews where they want to know what my future is like, what I want to do as X, Y, and Z title. So I got in the car and I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Like, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, my car got broken into the night before. Like, the window got smashed. What? Everything was just like, it was... it was chaos, and I was still having fun.
Oh
like
my
nobody, and
gosh.
I got in the car and I'm driving my grandma's car, and I'm like, because I'm driving my grandma's car right now because my Jeep is in Michigan, so I'm bringing it back. But I'm there like, this was horrible. I'm never gonna win. Like, forget about it.
And you won.
And I won. But I think it's like, and I remember I was like, do I really have to go to that party at night? Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
You probably had the best time of your
Oh
life.
yeah, I did. And I always tell the girls, I'm like, go out, have fun. Like, don't go out too late. That's what
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I went out the night, that was the same night. Interview was the same night. So we had what? Orientation.
Interview and then
Orientation.
Like
No, we had orientation the day before, but then it was a photo shoot in the morning, interview, and then the dinner at night.
And then there's like a club.
And then there's like a club. I literally told the girls, I'm like, go out, have fun. Like, do not, I understand that you guys have an early morning next day, but go out. You guys can leave at 1.
Yeah,
you guys can leave at midnight. Just go and have fun and be with the girls, interact with the girls, like, have fun. Because, like, that is what Miss Vizcaya is.
It really is. And like the whole year is kind of like that. It's just like fun stuff, fun dinners, content, travel.
Yeah.
Like, it's just fun.
It is fun.
Nothing
and
serious.
Nothing serious. Like, you sign a contract. That's it. It's like a contract. It's
not that serious.
It's not that serious. No, it's just, I think it's a non-compete.
It's a non-compete. It's like, you get paid this much. You have to design a swimsuit. You have to go to Tulum.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. God forbid. Like, what first world problems? Like, oh, I'm sorry. I have to go to Tulum. Like, it's a non-compete. Like, okay, it's basic stuff.
It's very basic.
So, and I mean, I feel like you guys also always gave me the freedom to do whatever. I
mean, as long as
I would tell you guys, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be doing this. Okay, have fun.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
Nothing was like very serious, but I always tell, have fun.
Yeah.
Don't take it too seriously, and it'll show.
That's literally it.
And that's it. And don't think it's a pageant interview, because it's not. So don't come out crying like me.
No, it's not that serious.
I literally came out of there, like, I remember all the girls were there like, how did it go? I was like, good. It's so good.
Everyone says that, right?
Yeah, I was like, so good. I was like, this is awesome. This is awesome. Grabbed my stuff, went to my car, and just bawled the whole way home. I remember getting home, my grandma was like, how was it? Because obviously I live in Miami, so I wasn't staying at the hotel. My house is like 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And my grandma was like, how was it? I was like, no, I don't want to go back. Oh, no. But no, I mean, how I always see pageantry too, it's like, it's one phase of competition, so don't let that.
Yeah, and you crushed it in your photo shoot.
And then my photo shoot. But I'm pretty sure that my interview wasn't bad. It was just, I didn't get questions I'm normally asked.
Okay, so you weren't like
So no, it wasn't that I didn't answer. It was just like, that's what I mean. Like, don't expect questions about where do you see yourself in 5 years? No. Where anything hard. I'm here trying to think of pageant questions. Like, oh, so
like, why do you want this title? I feel like that's a hard one.
Yeah, or like, no, they did ask me why I wanted to be Miss Vizcaya Swimwear. And I just answered honestly. I was like, look, I'm taking this opportunity to basically rebrand myself, because I have never done anything like this.
Oh, I love that.
And, I want to be able to collide both of my worlds, like being an engineer and being a swimsuit model. Like,
yeah,
who does that?
I love it.
So it was just like, I want to rebrand myself. I want to be able to be a voice and a representation for girls like me, girls that are engineers, and they're like, I want to model, I want to be an influencer, I want to do all these things, but they're scared or they don't have the representation. Mm-hmm. So that's literally what I said, and they're like, wow, okay.
And like, you are like the definition of that representation.
Yeah, thank you. It's been hard work, and it's been a long journey, and a lot of like uphill battles, but growth. And I think I take things like a grain of salt. Yeah. I'd never let anything hit me like too hard or be so harsh on me. Obviously, we all have those moments of vulnerability and like self-doubt. I have those all the time. Yeah. I'm like, I just had a quarter life crisis. Like, oh my God. I think my quarter life crisis was like, I'm going to go to law school. That's what I want to do with my life now. My mom was laughing because she's like, all your quarter life crisis ideas are like, they're actually not that crazy. They're just like, you just want to go back to school. I'm like, yeah, I've always loved school. But I've always, especially being in pageantry, you can't take everything so seriously. Yeah. Like, you need to really reevaluate yourself, know who you are, and be able to grow. Because nobody that has something, how am I trying to say this? Nobody with something like everyone always has an opinion. So whether that opinion is good or bad, they're gonna say it.
Yeah.
So you just have to take everything like a grain of salt and just continue, grab what you want from it. If it's gonna benefit you, if it's gonna help you grow and give you confidence and boost you up, then take it and put it in a little pocket. If not, just throw it away.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
so that's how I go through everything.
Yeah.
And and who you have in your circle and in your corner.
That's
And
so important.
yeah,
I feel like
and
that's
in your
super
village.
important.
I think
Yeah.
that's the most important thing about competing in pageantry, like who you have in your village and your corner.
And I feel like you can't go wrong. Pageant girls are so like well-rounded.
Oh, we are so, and that's the biggest. I always get mad when people are like, "Oh, aren't you guys mean?" Like two of my best friends came from pageantry, Sophia and Demi. And I competed with Demi at Miss Carnival.
Yeah.
Sophia was my first runner-up, and we are like this.
Yeah.
Both of us. Like I'm always like, Demi this, Demi that. Like
I know. Even today,
I was like, Demi just got back from medical school. Like, and it's like everyone's like, when I tell people, I'm like, yeah, Sophia's how did you meet Sophia? Oh, Sophia was my first runner-up. They're like, aren't you guys supposed to hate each other? I'm like,
gosh, that's not how it works.
No, at all. Like, no, she was always like so happy that I won, and I've been her, like, I support her in whatever she does, and it's honestly such a beautiful friendship because we have, what brings us together is pageantry, and it's nice to be able to share that with somebody.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, how are you friends, like best friends with your first runner-up? I'm like, because this isn't everything to us. It's just, it's our hobby, it's our sport, it's what we love to do, but I'm not gonna miss out on having an amazing friend because, oh, you beat me. Oh, we compete against each other. Absolutely not. It brings us
pageant girls though. Like we see the big picture and we have like these big goals and we're all so accomplished. There's no competition because we get it.
Yeah, and you are your own person. I always tell girls that are going in, I'm like, you're your biggest competition, and like nobody knows yourself better than you do, and that's what you need to show the judges, because the judges aren't gonna compare you to the next girl. They're just looking for the girl that just stands out and is true to who they are.
You need to be a pageant coach. I feel like this is like a free coaching session.
I've thought about it. Maybe in the future. Yeah. Maybe once, I'm retired, and I do definitely want to. I would love to coach, but I think I become too invested in girls that I'd be like, I think I'd lose my mind if I get a girl that I have to coach that isn't as invested, and I'm here like investing my whole life.
Wait, that's everything. Like me with makeup. So, they're like me on the stage, I swear. Like when my clients compete, like I'm like, come on, you got this. Yeah, like it's like me being up there, and if they don't do well, like I get so upset. I have to take a minute and process.
That's maybe in the future. I'm still, like I said, young. I'm still figuring everything out. I know where I'm going, I don't know where I'm ending up yet. So I know where I'm going. I know where I'm headed, and I know it's gonna be good things. But coaching has always been on my like radar. Yeah. But that's definitely down the line.
Yeah, so. Maybe like a low-key side hustle that nobody can know about while you're in law school.
Oh no, people will know. I'll be like, I'm a pageant coach.
Yeah, it'll be on Instagram.
Like, I'm a pageant coach. Oh my god. But no, I love the sport, and I love everything pageantry has brought into my life. So I love sharing that with other girls. And I think you've done it. You've created such a successful business off of something that you love, like makeup. And like it's like, whoa, and pageants and everything. But I don't think I function like you. Like I don't think I can turn my passion into, like, not that I have tried, but I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't want to charge. I'd be like, no, I just want to help you. It is on the other side. Like, I just want to help you. Like, just listen. Yeah. But that's why I say maybe. I don't know what's gonna happen. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Talk to me in 5 years. What's your 5-year plan?
I don't even know. I'm just like, wherever God takes me, we'll see.
Where are you traveling to next?
Oh, yeah,
I'm like, where are you traveling to next?
Wherever God takes me.
No. But I don't know. But,
oh my god,
that's my life.
Yeah. So before we wrap it up, I want some advice from you as a woman, as a minority, for girls looking up to you, like advice on getting into engineering and STEM in general.
Yeah. Don't be scared, because by the way that you may look to other people, that doesn't represent what you have and what you bring to the table. You deserve that seat at that table too. In that meeting room, there's a seat for you.
Yeah.
And you just need to take up space and stand your ground. And yeah, people might look at you weird. People might like undermine you and your intelligence and what you bring to the table. But you just need to trust yourself and have the respect that you want from others. You need to have that for yourself first.
Wow.
And I promise you, your counterparts and your colleagues, if they're respectful and they won't even bat an eye, and you'll be fine. And you'll be fine. And I think that's what's helped me carry on myself. And I've always been told, you bring such an energy and such a good asset to our team.
Yeah.
And before I would be like, am I obnoxious? Am I annoying? Am I loud? And no, everyone's like, we love having you part of our team, and we love the spunk of energy that you always bring. And I mean, now I live in Michigan, and everyone's like, now that I'm moving back down, they're like, we're going to miss your Cuban coffee. We're going to miss you making Cuban coffee. And you're loudless. I am the loudest person in my office by far. I remember somebody asked me, I did not take it to offense. They're like, do you just scream all the time, or do you talk? I'm like, oh, no. This is how I talk. I'm Cuban. I'm Hispanic. I scream. And everyone that knows me knows that my level of my voice is probably a little bit it's at 27 on a car radio. You know how they go up to 30?
But I feel like mine is too. Sometimes I'll say something normal and Franz is like, you don't have to yell, stop yelling. I'm like, I'm not. I'm just talking.
We're from Miami. We're from Miami. We're from Miami. Of course we don't talk. We scream.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so last thing is my favorite part. We're gonna do this or that.
This or that.
You can elaborate if you want to. Pageant stage or modeling runway?
Pageant stage. I'm like, pageant stage, definitely. I've always wanted to be a model, and that's funny, but there's nothing like being on a pageant stage. And I know it's so quick and so fast, and you only get 30 seconds or 45 seconds or a minute, but it's really cool to see how your hard work in that 1 minute. I love it. That's my favorite part of pageant. That's my favorite part about being on stage. It's all this hard work, all these months of sacrificing.
Literally months.
For a minute. And it's the best minute of my whole entire life. Every time I do it, I'm like, I want to do this again.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I'm pageant stage, definitely.
I feel like I know the answer to this one, but beach or mountains?
Beach.
I knew it.
Beach. Even though I don't like the sand, but definitely I love the ocean.
Yeah.
I'm an ocean baby, so take me to the ocean.
We're Miami girls.
We're Miami girls.
Road trip or fly?
Oh, that's a hard one. Because I love to drive. Mm-hmm. But flying, you can get to other places faster, so flying.
Okay.
But I love to drive.
Power suit or dress?
Power suit.
Okay.
Power suit. Even though I love dresses and dressing up, but a power suit, I don't know. There's so many now fun ways suits have been made and intricate and
I know.
And designed that
even PinkApple.
PinkApple. Yeah, she has one that is gorgeous. I was like, why don't you have it? I was gonna take it home too. And it's this jumpsuit with zippers, and it has a flare leg and the ruffles, the chartreuse one. Gorgeous.
I think it used to be here and someone bought it.
Yeah. I think it was Sophia that bought it. So I'm like, I need to go hunt down her closet and make sure. I'm like, if you have it, if you watch this and you have this in your closet, I'm going for it. Okay. Because I think she told me that she was coming to PinkApple to get it.
Oh my god.
This was before Miss Grand's International. So I think she didn't end up wearing it.
Okay.
So because she didn't have enough time, because it's crazy. Miss Grand's International, crazy pageant.
I'm not cut out for that
crazy
one.
Pageant. That was crazy.
Phone call or text?
Phone call. Don't text me.
Really?
Do not text me. I will literally show you right now.
You are terrible at texting. I think you're worse than me, actually.
I have 603 messages unread. But call me on the phone. We could have.
That is really bad.
It is horrible. Wow. I know my friends don't text me. My friends call me. If you are in an emergency, do not text me. Call me and I will 100% be there. And wow. But don't text me.
But I love that I know that you read it, because even planning this podcast, I got no responses, but I'm like, I know she'll show up and I know she'll be there.
Yeah. Just honestly, if you don't like talking on the phone, then just tell me where I need to be, when I need to be there, and I'm there. But don't expect okay, yeah, I'll be there. I'm not an extensive texter.
Oh my god.
Call me. Oh, we'll be on the phone for 3 hours.
Oh my god.
I love it. I love being on the phone. Because you hear people's emotions and everything. It's a roller coaster. It's texting. I've gotten that I'm the driest texter, and I'm not surprised.
If you do text.
Yeah, when my boss literally came up to my desk one day and he was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And he goes, "Oh, because your email sounded like really, really dry and like you sounded really like upset." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I just do not translate well on emails or text."
No, I feel like texts have like ruined relationships. Probably,
Yeah,
because the tone is just
the tone is not there. I send voice notes too. I'm a big voice.
Oh, I love voice notes. It's the easiest.
Yeah.
Would you rather judge or compete in a pageant?
Oh, wow. Okay, right now I'm gonna say compete. Ask me again in like 2 years.
Okay. Would you rather be a model or a designer?
A designer.
Yeah.
Which is really weird for me to say, but I work with Fernando Wong really closely. Like he's literally probably my best friend.
Yeah.
I FaceTime him every morning. He doesn't answer. He hates talking on the phone, but I try every morning, and I just see him and his passion and how he creates and stuff
So
that
creative.
I've been able to like just sit down with him in his studio and just watch him like sketch. I couldn't sketch, but I can now like piece together like cool like gowns and stuff and interviews, and so yeah, definitely design.
So
Can't draw it, but I'll design it.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Same.
Coffee.
Lashes or mascara?
Okay, I love lashes, but mascara. Mascara, because it's just like, yeah, you just like put a little bit of it and you're good to go. I feel like unless you have lash extensions, then okay, then lashes, but like putting on falsies every day, absolutely not.
Yeah, and even wearing them, but you know.
I'm wearing them. Lashes. Lady code, beautiful. But those are actually the only lashes I do wear. Yeah, you know that, because even at Miss Florida, I was like, "Lisa, I ran out of lashes. Do you have some?"
I feel like every event that you're at, you're like, "Lisa, do you have lashes?"
Do you have lashes? Because it's literally the only lashes I wear. I only wear.
The bands are made out of cotton, so they're soft. So like you can wear them all day and you don't really realize it.
Exactly. I think I have a pair that I'm literally like just saving there.
It's probably Taurus.
Probably.
That was like your big lash face.
That was my big lash face, but I don't think it is Taurus. Because they're smaller. Oh. They're really, really pretty. I'm just gonna send you a picture. But they're literally like sitting there for my next pageant. Like it was my last like, and I was gonna re-up on everything, but I was like, oh, I'm going to the studio. Like I'll get it all while I'm here.
And I made sure you put on some lashes.
Yeah, I was like, Lisa, I don't have lashes.
And you need another Snatch palette. So.
Yes, that is my favorite. That palette, you did an amazing job with that, as you do with everything. But
that palette I can't live without it.
Yeah, that palette is definitely like a game changer. I only take that.
That's all you need.
Yeah,
you have your whole face in that palette.
I mean, I think you were really the one that that like instilled in me like you do not need a big makeup kit.
No.
Like you should see my makeup kit after my whole year of hanging out with you and like you doing my makeup. It's literally like
snatched lashes, brushes, and the lip.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
Like this, like literally, and my foundation, concealer, like this contour. But it's not like this whole thing that I used to drag around. Like I can literally do my pageant makeup with like it's like a little square thingy and it's done.
Yeah.
Like,
that's literally why I made Snatch, because as a professional makeup artist, I was carrying like so many palettes around for no reason to use one color out of them. So I was like, let me just take the colors I use the most.
Well, the one that I really like too is the influencer one because of that brown. I know what color the brown shimmer I love. But there's like also there's a blending color that I use there a lot.
Detox tea.
Is it detox tea? Yes, detox. It's like an orangey.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a good blending color.
And then you taught me how to fill in my hairline. It's honestly a game changer.
You modeled for that campaign.
I know, but it's honestly a game changer. Like once you did that, I was like,
I know, it changes everything. Even if you have like a good forehead, it just makes
it's like how can people not do this more often? So
yeah. Well, thank you for coming on. Where can we follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Miss Sabrina Ramos.
Love it. I introduced you as that. I was like, it's Miss Sabrina Ramos. That's what I
think. I think that's the biggest question people have always asked me. Yeah. They're like, so when you're done competing, are you gonna change your name?
Or like when you're married, or when I be like,
no, never.
Never.
I think that is like, it's just who I am. So, and I love it. And I don't think so. No,
because when I introduced you, like my brain went there. I was like, I have
Miss Sabrina Ramos. So yeah, I haven't thought about when I'm married, but I don't think so either.
Yeah, just keep it.
Yeah, my name's taken on Instagram, but it's okay. Mine's better.
I love
it represents who I am. So
well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.